Hey, so I'm in a different place now. I made it to ABZ, like I was supposed to. So I guess this is entry number two. Um, my journey here was a little bit interesting to start with. I had three flights actually, and the one that was transatlantic came into London Heathrow half an hour late, which is very late when you're supposed to make a connection within an hour and 40 minutes. So I was essentially left running through London Heathrow, and if you've ever been there, it's huge. People tell you it's huge, and like you don't believe them, and then it's huge. So I'm running through London Heathrow, and they have to check all my bags again because I've just entered a different country, and so put my bags through. Everything's fine. Running up more stairs. They have a lot of stairs there. They have a few escalators, but a lot of stairs. So I'm running upstairs, and then I get to customs, and I have to fill out a customs card and basically prove why I'm going to be in the UK and whether it's legitimate or not, and essentially show them like the proof that I'm an actual student. I'm not just calling myself a student and rolling in to steal their money. So I declared everything, and I was talking to I guess he's a border manager, or a representative of the border, and he asked me when my flight was, and I said it was at 9:10, and at that point it was about 8:50, and so when your plane is supposed to take off, roughly this time on your ticket, that's a little bit concerning. So he essentially looked at me, and by this point, like, I'm sweating. I was wearing 9 layers from the plane because it was like so cold on the plane. It's always cold on planes. And obviously a little bit shaken up because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I was doing anything right to begin with. So stamps my passport, lets me go. I'm like, all right, got through that. Walk into the food court area of London Heathrow, and I'm at gate 2, and I need to be at gate 26, and I now have about 15 minutes. So I'm booking it again. I'm that tourist who basically everyone in this like food court area kind of thing was just staring at, and that's the way it feels, obviously, because I'm sweating like crazy. I'm out of my element. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I've never been in this place before. How am I supposed to find my way from A to B, especially in a place that's that huge? So I'm doing a light jog now. I have my 2 bags, my big bag, my roll-on. I had put through the baggage at Toronto, and so they tagged it, put it under. I was supposed to get it in Aberdeen, all this different type of stuff. Said goodbye to my parents there as well, and happily gone on my way, where here now I didn't have the 2 hours that I had when I was getting on at Toronto and didn't know where I was going. I literally had 15 minutes to get where I was going, and I didn't know where that was. So I'm booking it. I'm by myself. I'm trying to make tracks, and I see the gate up ahead, and there's a little bit of a line left, like 3 people. That's not really a line, but I'm like, okay, there's people still off the plane. We're good here. I've got this. So I run up, and basically went to the gate, and they scanned my passport, and they take pictures of you all over the place in Heathrow. I guess it's to keep track of you just in case you do something crazy at one point. And they took a picture of me, and then they asked me for my boarding pass. And I was like, well, I don't have a boarding pass because I flew with one airline for my first 2 flights, and my 3rd flight was a completely different airline. And the girl who was dealing with me looked at me and went, you don't have a boarding pass? I'm like, no. So then she asked me if I checked in. I was like, oh yeah, I checked in like yesterday for my flights. And she goes, I don't think you're checked in. Let me check your name. So she takes my passport, and she puts me in the system. I'm still sweating. I'm still kind of late. I'm now really the only person standing there. I'm a little bit more nervous than nervous, so I was very collected. And so she runs my name. She finds me in the system. She can tell that I'm supposed to be on that flight, but I'm not checked in. And so like I'm thinking, but I checked in. But I checked in with my first flight company, and that didn't reflect on my second flight company because it's a discount carrier and some of their online stuff is a little bit more complicated to get to because they're not as user-friendly. And so I looked at her and I was like, I'm way out of my league. Can you just help me? Like, I don't know what I'm doing at all. And just like, I can feel the panic rising in my chest. And she's just like, okay, well, if we don't get you on this plane, we'll get you on the next one. And I'm thinking, what do you mean if I don't get on this plane? This is my plane. Like, this is the one that goes from LHR to ABZ. That's how I get there. So, a little bit stressed, a little bit nervous, definitely sweating. Another guy came up behind me. He was also late, also sweating, nervous, late. And so I was just kind of like, solidarity. All right, got this. He walks up, they scan his passport, they ask for his boarding pass, and he goes, I don't have one. Apparently, he didn't check in for the same issue. So then the girl looks at me and goes, I know you're supposed to be on this flight. I'll just print your boarding pass. She prints me a boarding pass. And I'm like, at this point, I'm ecstatic. I'm like, I'm going to get there. I'm actually going to get there. Been running for like 20 minutes. Don't actually know where I am. Like, unsure whether I've actually legally entered the country or not. Like, I feel like I missed a chunk of paperwork. But anyways, they know I'm there. I have a visa in my passport. They've given me a boarding pass. I'm going to sit in that seat. Come on. So I go on the plane. It's tiny. Like, this thing should have propellers. So I walk all the way to my seat, and it was a C, which is an aisle chair. But then, as it turns out, there was like 25 of us on the entire plane. So I took the window seat, because why not? Then you could see things. And I guess that's a North Sea pun, too. Accidental. Anyways, so I took the seat, and I was chilling there, and then our captain came over the PA and said that there was a group of 20 people who were supposed to be on our flight, and we had their luggage, but they weren't on the flight, so they were going to wait the flight. And I'm sitting there like, what? So I guess these 20 have checked in, and so they know that they're supposed to be there, and so they're thinking of waiting the flight kind of thing. As it turns out, they didn't actually wait the flight, but we sat there for like another 10 minutes. So during those 10 minutes, the girl who had helped me, who had basically said no, but that she would help me get on the next flight, and then ended up printing me a boarding pass. She comes on the flight, and she goes, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you got your seat okay. Are you all right? Are you doing okay? And of course, this is in like a thick London accent, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Just like trying to translate after being so panicked and just finally coming down a little bit, because you get off a transatlantic that's like, it takes a while. Like, you sit there forever, and then you have to wait forever to get off the plane because there's like over 500 people there. And then you run, and you don't really, well, you use your brain, but I mean, running is more like, I'm going to get from A to B and not think about how my feet hurt. So I looked at her quite stunned, and she was just trying to make sure I was okay, and I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. Like, you actually care to get on the plane and make sure I'm okay, because it's clear I'm not from here. I guess the Canadian passport maybe gave it away. But anyway, so I'm on the plane, and I'm going to Aberdeen, and it's going to happen. And I'm really stoked about it. And we take off. And it's like, I don't know, I think they said the flight was supposed to be an hour and a half. It didn't feel like an hour and a half. We actually flew, I guess it would have been east of Edinburgh, because we were over the North Sea, and I could see all the white caps, and then I could see some of the big boats that we have in and out of the harbor. I'm already saying we. They have in and out of the harbor. And then I could actually see like a bit of the school. I didn't see the residence, but I could see the library and everything when we were coming into ABZ. So we landed, we taxied off the runway, the one runway, into the like unloading kind of area. They parked. They rolled up a staircase, and we walked across the tarmac. That's how small Aberdeen International Airport is. I think it's international because they fly to Ireland